My organization represents more than 100 participants, and INFID also affiliate herself with Beyond 2015, as well as with IFP, and the CSO network, what we call BRICSAM network. Excellency, distinguished panelists, delegate, my civil society and UN colleagues. In September this year, United Nations will host a summit to adopt ambitious and transformative post-2015 development agenda and SDG. It is our view that one of the most challenging tasks of all is to have a credible plan to support the agenda of SDG. We have to overcome long-standing and structural constraints of financing development, that is, tax evasion and illicit financial flow. When we address the international tax system, we also need to ensure that nobody is left behind by new SDG. Widening inequality can be reversed through the right of political decision. Progressive taxation, both domestic and international level, is a powerful way to reduce economic inequality and need to be coupled to policies such as increasing minimum wage, reducing the gender pay gap, and investing in good quality public health and education. In ever more globalized world, the mutually reinforcing connection between local elite and global elite must be addressed. These elites are often hidden behind the mass of multinational corporations. We need to combat tax evasion, tax avoidance, and eliminate illicit financial flow through a strengthened national regulation and increase international cooperation. And we need to ensure that a fair share of taxes is paid by multinational companies, not just by the citizen. We now know that since 2008, for every $1 developing countries gain through FDI, remittances, aid, etc., they lost around $2, especially in illicit financial flow and debt repayment. The second issue is who share the burden of tax. Our recent comparative research on tax policy of 3 countries, Indonesia, Brazil, and South Africa, shows that the tax policies of 3 countries do not reflect equitable taxation system. The revenue of personal income tax is mostly obtained from employee through pay system. It shows that the tax is paid mostly by the middle class employee, not by self-employed individual or owners of company or owners of capital. And we know that Indonesia, South Africa, and Brazil are always in the top list of countries with the largest loss from tax evasion as a result of international taxation scheme, which most likely can only be done by wealthy individuals and multinational companies. In a recent Financing for Development meeting in Jakarta, the Asia-Pacific leaders have said that it is important to foster international cooperation in tax matter by dealing firmly with the base erosion and profit shifting, and to increase global transparency and information exchange. So I believe that Financing for Development Conference in Addis is a crucial opportunity to put an end of tax evasion on the UN agenda. However, we believe that we urgently need to go beyond OECD BEPS action plan. Why? Because BEPS action plan will not in themselves solve the problem of international corporate tax avoidance. Because the BEPS model has deliberately leaving out the important issues such as taxation in the extractive industry. There will be no reform of the taxing right between resident countries where multinationals are resident, usually in the rich countries, and source country where many multinationals corporation profit are sourced, often in developing countries. We believe that to have a credible plan, more in-depth and inclusive reform are necessary to improve global tax cooperation and end corporate tax evasion. So I strongly support the UN to play a more prominent role in this matter. The creation of intergovernmental body on tax matter under auspices of the United Nations with a universal membership and adequate resources is necessary solution to address a global problem. We support the UN Secretary General's statement a few months ago that member states should consider the establishment of an intergovernmental committee on tax cooperation under auspices of the United Nations. The Financing for Development Conference in Addis again represents a perfect opportunity to make intergovernmental body on tax matter a reality, with a clear path holding the first meeting in 2016. So, in conclusion, a first step to make it happen is to have inter-ministerial roundtable in Addis dedicated to this issue. The outcome will be to set up this new tax body, and we would like to ask you to support the organization of this inter-ministerial summit on tax as part of the agenda of the conference. In conclusion, as an analogy, I would quote the story of Wright brothers who invent the first airplane. Our challenge now is not just how to know how to fly, but also how to have necessary the first plane so that we could fly. Thank you, moderator.